Hey guys, it's Brienne here, and so today I actually don't have a manhwa related video for you for once. I actually have an anime related video, and I haven't filmed one of these in ages because I haven't really been into anime too much. But recently I have just finished the Inuyasha sequel, so yeah, I kind of just wanted to sit down and talk about it. If you don't want to hear rambles and just like unimportant information, feel free to skip this video, even though I do recommend checking out this anime, especially if you're an OG Inuyasha watcher like me. But yeah, I don't know how long this video is going to be, so feel free to get like a snack, get a tea, relax, you know, we're just going to talk about random stuff. I will do my best not to mention spoilers, but I might slip up in that, but I think I should be good. So if you're unfamiliar with this anime, it recently dropped. I believe it was the previous season compared to what is airing now, maybe. And it is called Hanyou no Yashahime, I believe is the proper name. But yeah, basically it's a sequel to Inuyasha. It is the three daughters between Sesshomaru and Inuyasha, and that I feel like I do have to preface the fact that I am completely coming at this from the perspective of Inuyasha being my childhood anime. It is like the first anime that introduced me to anime, besides like Sailor Moon, like Yu-Gi-Oh, and like Digimon, even though I don't really remember Digimon that much. And yeah, it's honestly like Inuyasha, not the sequel, but Inuyasha is honestly my comfort anime. Like if I want some background noise, if I'm cleaning my room or something, I'll throw it on in the background, dubbed, not subbed. I was not about the sub life when I was like 6 when this aired. And yeah, like it's just my comfort anime. If I'm feeling down, I have it on, like that. Maybe Haikyuu too. Haikyuu is kind of a comfort anime too. So in a way, I had really high expectations for this anime, for the sequel, because I clearly am absolutely in love with Inuyasha. It's like, again, a lot of it could just be the nostalgia of it being like my first real anime, but either way, I just really love it. I think it is an incredible anime, and I was hoping that the sequel wouldn't like tarnish that in a way, if that makes sense. Even though a lot of times sequels are, honestly most times sequels aren't as good as the originals, but you know. And honestly, when I heard this, I couldn't believe it. I was so ecstatic. I thought people were lying when they said there was going to be an Inuyasha sequel, but they weren't, clearly, and like, that's incredible. So I know, I'm rambling. I'm not even talking about the sequel that much yet, but I do want to admit that even though I love Inuyasha and I think Inuyasha is incredible, and I was so happy when the final act became released, I actually think I watched it subbed instead of dubbed because I could not wait, because I was probably like 13 at the time, maybe, roughly. But anyways, the final act was good, and I was so happy that the series like finally completed, like came full circle, had a proper ending. But it was rushed, and it definitely wasn't as good as the original. But like, that's usually how it goes, so like, you know. And I will say, I kind of feel the same way how I feel about the final act as I feel about Yashahime. Like, it's really good, but not to be surprised, it just isn't on the same playing field completely as Inuyasha. But I don't hate it at all, like at all, that's not what I'm saying. I do enjoy that it is a completely like fresh take on the series, but at the same time, it kind of gives you like just like such a nostalgic feel, and like it feels like so familiar that like it just made me like smile, and like I felt comforted. And I absolutely adored all the Easter eggs that were thrown throughout it if you are an OG Inuyasha watcher like myself, because yeah, there's quite a bit of them, and like they just give me so much joy, because like as someone that constantly watches Inuyasha, like I said, it's really easy for me to remember so much of it. And yeah, I can easily remember what the episodes are referencing to. A lot of them are like, I think like a lot of demons and villains and that from the final act were like either shown, or you could see that they had a resemblance to the demons, and that in Yashahime there was also an episode with a half demon village, which again, that's just a callback to the original Inuyasha. Yeah, I don't want to say too much. I will say a big part of this anime is the rainbow pearls, which in a way are essentially just like kind of like the sacred jewel, sort of, I think. I don't know how I feel about them. I'm not too sure how I feel about the rainbow jewels. I'm not completely sold. Like, they're interesting, the story's interesting, but I just don't know how I feel. There definitely are cringy moments. I'd say more towards the beginning of the series. Like, just kind of some of the, like, I don't even know. Like, some of the, like I don't know. Like, the first one that comes to mind particularly is I'm not too sure how I feel about Miroha's transformation. I do enjoy that they tied in Inuyasha's mother's rouge, but something about it just like, I don't know, it makes me cringe and it kind of puts me off. Like, I don't know what it is. Maybe just because of how dramatic it is. I just don't know how I feel about it. But the final episode, like for the first season, incredible. It was so good. Like, I loved it. That was probably the best episode of the season. So, like, it just makes me want more because, yeah, I didn't mention this earlier. I mentioned this in another video. But yeah, I finished watching this yesterday. so like it's fresh in my mind, the last episode. I will say though, I feel like the producers are definitely taking advantage of OG Inuyasha watchers and like hoping that this is the fan base that they're appealing to, even though of course they want new crowds, like the newer generations and that don't know or are just kind of unfamiliar with Inuyasha. Of course they want to draw in those people as well, but they definitely are taking their time or just currently not answering questions that like OG Inuyasha watchers would have, or they're just unraveling them very slowly throughout the first season. Like one being where Inuyasha and Kagome are, like what's happening with them because they have this 14-year-old daughter and they're not with her, and that would definitely be out of Kagome's character. And I guess Inuyasha's, I don't know. I don't know how Inuyasha would really feel about a child if we're being too honest, because I don't think he'd be as cold as Shishomaru would be, but like, you know, Inuyasha with a child. I just think about how he always hits Shippo over the head, you know? Actually, was Shippo even mentioned? I don't even know if Shippo was mentioned once throughout this. Anyways. And also, like, what's going on with Miroku and Sango, and again, like, newer viewers wouldn't know these old main characters, but, like, of course the older viewers want to know what's up, you know? Because, like, we're attached to them. We watched like, what, 200 plus episodes involving them. We want to know what's good, and of course newer viewers don't have that attachment that we have, and ultimately probably don't care as much. And they also definitely left the first season off on a cliffhanger, so again, they're really like just making us question and wonder and want to know more, and like it's working for me at least. And that's why at the ending when they confirmed that there is a second season, I was pumped. I'm so looking forward to it. Another thing I really personally enjoy is the interactions between the three main characters, aka the sisters or cousins. It definitely gives off like Inuyasha versus Shishomaru vibes, or even Inuyasha versus Koga vibes. Just like, you know, immature banter in a way. And you can also see the traits that each child developed from their respective parents, which like, it's nice. Like, I like it. And yeah, it just fully really ties it together for me and gives me a lot of joy. But I was actually really surprised. I did not expect Toa to be my favorite character, but I think it's safe to say that she is. Because yeah, I kind of just have a bias. Like, Inuyasha and Kagome were my favorite characters, aside from Koga. Like, he was like, I think I might like him a little bit more than Inuyasha. I don't know. And because of that, I just figured I would like Moroha the most. But like, that's not the case. But also, since I did mention Koga, I just want to say, like, for the record, like, I know this wouldn't happen. Like, I'm 98% sure it wouldn't happen, but like that 2% would be so satisfying. Like, I know it won't happen because like Moroha's character, like just judging from her character, but like 11-year-old me would be freaking screaming if like Koga and Ayami had a son around Moroha's age. You see where I'm going with this? And he like tries to like court Moroha, like that would be like that would be so good. Like, I don't even care. Like, I know it wouldn't happen. I know she probably doesn't even care about boys. She only cares about like paying off her bounty and fighting demons, and I guess like hanging around her cousins. But like 11-year-old me screaming inside. Like, that would be such a good episode or episodes. Like, just picture how Koga just always like popped up out of nowhere and was like always trying to pursue Kagome, I guess. So good. It would be so good. I loved his character. And also, like, Setsuna is clearly like 100% Shishomaru. Like, there's not a doubt at all. She even has his little furry thing. The villains I also don't mind. I think they're quite enjoyable, especially like the main guy, like the big boy, Kirin probably butchered that, but like I think he's so cool. Like, I love his design. I love his like just how like cold he is. Like, I don't know, everything about him like I love, which is kind of funny because I guess he's sort of like Shishomaru in a way, and Shishomaru has grown on me over the years. But initially when I first watched Inuyasha, like the first probably like 30 times, I won't even lie, I don't really care for his character. Like, he's so badass and he's so cool, but I just never really cared for him. I don't know why. I don't know. Probably unpopular opinion, but like, I don't know. The other villains are fine. Like, they're nothing really special if we're being honest. Like, they're fine. Also, there is a character named Riku, and like, I don't really know where he stands, but I do enjoy his character, and I knew that he'd be really interesting from the beginning. Like, I don't know, I just got that vibe. Something just told me, and he really hasn't disappointed in that aspect either. So I'm excited to see him too. I'll be honest though, the plot isn't incredible, and I feel like it is probably a lot more complicated than the initial Inuyasha, because let's be real, Inuyasha was really straightforward. A girl traveled back in time, she broke a sacred jewel, scattered all across the country, and they had to pick up the pieces, fight demons along the way, make friends, make a romance, and yeah, the end goal was just to gather all the shards of the sacred jewel. Super straightforward. This one, I feel like this one just has like a lot of plots, like a lot of little plot, and that just coming all together, so it's just a lot more complicated. There's like the butterfly dreams, which is a huge thing for Toa. There's the rainbow pearls, which again, I don't know how I feel. There's what's going on with the sacred tree. Where the hell are all the OG characters? What's going on with everyone? Then there's the main villain, the Kirin Maru. Like, he's so cool. I love him. And now there's something about a comet in one of the episodes. And there's also some guy in the present world that's kind of questionable. Like, there's so much going on. And I'm personally assuming that they do have a lot planned, like episode-wise. Like, I could picture this series having a lot of episodes like the original Inuyasha did. At least I hope so, because like, there's so many different plots. Like, they're gonna have to, hopefully, like I would hope, that they will end up tying everything together so there isn't any plot holes, because like that's the worst, and I would really hate to see that. But yeah, overall, I really enjoyed it. I'm really looking forward to the second season, like I've mentioned probably a few times now. And I guess in a way I can kind of understand how this wouldn't be everyone's cup of tea, but I have stumbled across or just like skimmed over what seemed like a lot of hate on this show, and I just don't get why. Because like, or not even just hate, but just negative reviews overall. And like, I wouldn't say this is a 10 out of 10. I don't even know if I'd honestly say it's a 9 out of 10. I think maybe an 8. I'd give it personally, I think, an 8 out of 10. But that being said, I just don't get why people are acting like it's absolute garbage, because it's not. Like, I know, like everyone has different tastes, everyone enjoys different things, and of course it is all just like subjective, but I just don't get why it's getting so much like negative reviews. Like, the beginning was probably slightly slow, but like the ending, banger. But also, like, again, if we're being completely honest, like I mentioned previously, sequels are never as good as the original content, or it is really rare for them to be as good or better than the original content. So you should kind of keep that in the back of your head, I feel, when you're watching sequels. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say. I think hopefully you guys enjoyed my random rambles. Hopefully you guys got a snack or a drink, because I feel like this is a long video, because like this is just something I'm really happy and passionate and like, yeah, just really happy to talk about and hear other people's thoughts and that down below. Because yeah, ultimately I feel like Inuyasha shaped me into the person I am today, because if I never watched that, I don't even know if I ever really would have watched anime, because I didn't watch anime after watching Inuyasha. It took me a lot of years to finally start another anime, which I think was Yona of the Dawn, if we're being honest. And then from there on, I started watching other anime, and I fell back in love with something that I used to adore as a child. And like, that's why I've watched so many anime now and read so much manga and manhwa, manhwa, just everything, honestly. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, feel free to like, subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff down below. Like I mentioned, I'd love to hear your thoughts on the show, if you have finished it, or if you dropped it, or if you don't think it's that incredible, because like, I get it. I get how it wouldn't be everyone's cup of tea, but I think it definitely is somewhat enjoyable. But yeah, hopefully you guys have a great day or had a great day, and hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!